In a world where belief systems often drift like ships in a crowded sea, 5 nations have chosen to anchor their identity in one enduring faith. For them, Catholicism isn't merely a creed whispered in cathedrals. It's written into the bones of their constitutions, etched into the law itself. Out of nearly 200 sovereign states, only a rare handful have declared Catholicism as the official religion of the land. A bold move that binds altar to authority and scripture to statecraft. What drives a modern nation to fuse the sacred with the civic? Why have these few countries elevated the Catholic Church from spiritual guide to constitutional cornerstone? Today we delve beyond headlines and census data to explore the living bond between religion and nationhood in the 5 places where Catholicism doesn't just influence society, it defines it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. Number 1, Vatican City. Nestled within the heart of Rome, yet governed entirely apart from it, Vatican City stands as a sovereign anomaly. The smallest independent country in the world by area and population, yet unmatched in spiritual authority. With a population rarely exceeding 800 residents, it is the only nation on earth where every citizen is Catholic by necessity, their lives wholly dedicated to the service of the Holy See. Unlike secular republics or constitutional monarchies, Vatican City is a pure theocracy, the only one of its kind in the modern world. There are no elections, no political parties, and no separation of powers. Here, faith is the Constitution. The very first line of its fundamental law declares that the Catholic Church, with the Supreme Pontiff as its visible head, is sovereign in the Vatican City state. The Pope, Bishop of Rome and leader of the global Catholic Church, is both the head of state and the supreme spiritual authority. He holds absolute power over legislative, executive, and judicial branches. He appoints the members of the Pontifical Commission, Vatican City's main legislative body, and all major civil offices are held by clergy selected for their dedication and doctrinal fidelity. Unlike anywhere else, the legal system is rooted not in civil code, but in canon law, the ecclesiastical legal tradition developed over nearly 2 millennia. Court cases, administrative decisions, and government policies all operate under the authority of church statutes, making Vatican City a nation where religion is not just recognized by law, but defines it. Life in Vatican City flows according to a sacred rhythm. Masses echo daily through St. Peter's Basilica, the city's architectural and spiritual epicenter, while the tolling of bells marks the liturgical hours rather than official shifts. The city's presence extends far beyond its borders. Despite its tiny size, Vatican City maintains diplomatic relations with over 180 countries, issues its own currency and postage stamps, operates media outlets, and serves as the headquarters of Catholicism's vast network of missions, dioceses, and humanitarian efforts. Even the nation's defense is unique. The Swiss Guard, clad in their iconic Renaissance uniforms, serve not only as security for the Pope, but as ceremonial guardians of a religious tradition that has endured for centuries. They symbolize the blending of history, faith, and duty, all within a single square kilometer of sacred ground. Within its compact walls lie vast cultural treasures. The Vatican museums hold some of humanity's greatest works of art, from the Sistine Chapel ceiling to sculptures and relics spanning civilizations. Meanwhile, the apostolic archives and libraries preserve over 1,000 years of church history and theological thought. No other nation on earth so completely fuses the sacred and the sovereign. In Vatican City, there is no boundary between church and state, because the state itself is an instrument of the church's divine mission. Number 2, Monaco. Along the shimmering coastline of the Mediterranean, where luxury yachts line the harbor and grand casinos glow against the night, lies a principality that blends opulence with devotion in a way few nations do. Monaco, a jewel of Europe, not only for its wealth and glamour, but also for its enduring bond between crown and cross. In this tiny sovereign state, the Catholic, Apostolic, and Roman religion is not just a private affair or cultural backdrop. It is written into law. Article 9 of Monaco's constitution proclaims Catholicism as the official state religion, anchoring the identity of the nation in sacred tradition. This declaration is not symbolic. It is woven into the DNA of the principality, from its institutions to its daily life. For centuries, the ruling Grimaldi dynasty has stood hand in hand with the Catholic Church, forging a partnership where royal authority and spiritual leadership reflect one another. Their intertwined histories have created a ceremonial life marked by both grandeur and reverence. Royal weddings unfold beneath the vaulted ceilings of the Cathedral of Our Lady Immaculate, where monarchs are married and buried in rites that echo centuries of ecclesiastical splendor. This cathedral is more than just a place of worship. It is a central pillar of Monaco's public life, standing shoulder to shoulder with the royal palace itself. Though Monaco is home to just over 39,000 residents, its Catholic character resonates far beyond its size. Roughly 80% of the population identifies as Catholic, a figure that mirrors not only belief but public rhythm. Religious feast days and national holidays are marked by processions winding through the narrow streets, bells ringing from centuries-old churches, and special masses offered in celebration and remembrance. Faith is not relegated to ceremony. It lives in public schools where Catholic teachings and moral instruction form part of the curriculum. It's evident in social services, where church-led and state-supported charities care for the vulnerable, and in civic milestones where blessings from religious leaders accompany official state events. Monaco's religious identity, however, is not rigid. The state guarantees freedom of religion, ensuring respect for all beliefs. What makes the Catholic tradition here so distinctive is not its exclusivity, but its peaceful coexistence with modernity. While other European nations have gradually stepped back from their religious roots, Monaco has allowed its sacred legacy to evolve alongside progress, without abandoning it. This is a country that hosts world-class events like the Monaco Grand Prix, where supercars scream through city streets just blocks from holy processions. International tourists and global elites pour into the principality year-round, yet the nation never loses sight of its foundational spirit. In public architecture, civic rituals, and the moral imagination of its people, Catholicism remains ever present. In Monaco, religion is not enforced. It is embraced. It is not a relic of the past, but a living, breathing presence, dignified by centuries of shared memory and devotion. The result is a nation where sacred tradition and modern identity do not clash, but coexist, delicately and powerfully. Number 3, Liechtenstein. Tucked between Austria and Switzerland, nestled among alpine valleys and snow-capped peaks, Liechtenstein may be one of Europe's smallest nations. But it carries a spiritual weight far beyond its borders. In this serene principality, faith is not merely personal, it is constitutional. According to Article 37 of Liechtenstein's constitution, the Roman Catholic Church is designated as the national church, granted full protection by the state. This legal declaration gives Catholicism a privileged role in public life, while simultaneously ensuring equal legal respect for other religious communities. Unlike in some countries where a state religion may signal exclusion, Liechtenstein's framework is deliberately inclusive, balancing tradition with tolerance. Here, Catholicism does not dominate by force, it permeates gently but deeply. The state's support for the church is visible in more than just financial backing. It lives in the preservation of centuries-old chapels, tucked into mountain passes, in the rituals of monarchy, and in the symbolism present at every major civic gathering. When the Prince of Liechtenstein appears at national ceremonies, he often stands beside bishops and priests, a visual echo of the nation's enduring bond between throne and altar. These moments are not staged for nostalgia. They are living traditions, unfolding annually during feast days, public masses, and national holidays that blend the sacred and the civic with effortless grace. Across valley villages, religious processions wind through cobblestone streets. Church bells mark moments of silence and celebration alike. These customs are more than quaint. They are cornerstones of national identity, as embedded in the cultural landscape as the Alpine ridgelines themselves. Despite its commitment to Catholicism, Liechtenstein protects religious freedom with genuine intent. Protestant congregations and other Christian denominations enjoy the same constitutional guarantees: property rights, freedom of worship, and recognition by the state. Their churches stand peacefully alongside Catholic ones, symbols of coexistence rather than competition. This dual commitment also extends to the classroom. While Catholicism is taught as the spiritual foundation of the country, students are also exposed to the beliefs, histories, and values of other faiths, cultivating a respectful understanding of religious diversity. It's a system where pluralism is not a threat to heritage. It is part of it. As of 2025, approximately 70% of Liechtenstein's citizens identify as Catholic, a number that reflects both a strong religious identity and a broader sense of cultural continuity. This enduring majority reinforces the country's unique position as a modern European state rooted in sacred tradition, where belief is not just acknowledged but actively shapes public life. In Liechtenstein, faith is not confined to Sunday services. It rings from towers, guides policy with quiet influence, and inhabits the rhythm of daily life. Proof that, in even the smallest corners of Europe, the intersection of religion and national identity can remain vibrant, relevant, and deeply meaningful. Number 4, Malta. Scattered like golden stones across the Mediterranean Sea, the sun-drenched islands of Malta rise with a kind of quiet majesty. Here, ancient limestone churches dominate village skylines, their bell towers casting long shadows over cobbled piazzas, while salty breezes carry whispers of liturgies spoken for generations. In Malta, Catholicism is not merely a cultural inheritance. It is the legal and spiritual anchor of the nation. This is not just a ceremonial nod to the past. It is a living assertion that the faith is foundational to the state itself. But this article goes far beyond symbolism. It grants the Catholic Church not only recognition, but authority, the right and the duty to define moral principles for society. Embedded within national law is the belief that the Church has a central role in shaping the conscience of the people, not only through liturgy, but through policy, education, and public debate. In Malta's classrooms, this spiritual presence begins early. Religious instruction in the Catholic faith is mandatory in all public schools, making catechism as familiar to students as mathematics or history. From the first years of childhood, Catholic teachings are interwoven with the broader educational fabric, instilling values that align with the moral teachings of the Church. The influence doesn't end with the school bell. Catholicism pulses through Malta's calendar in the form of vibrant parish festas, elaborate festivals honoring local saints that blend sacred ceremony with public celebration. Streets come alive with brass bands, processions, fireworks, and draped banners, transforming entire towns into theatrical expressions of devotion and identity. The visual landscape of the islands mirrors this devotion. Shrines to the Virgin Mary and patron saints appear not only in churches but on walls, lampposts, and even the bells of fishing boats. Public buildings, roundabouts, and seaside promenades are adorned with religious symbols that serve as constant reminders of the sacred woven into daily life. Even in political discourse, the Catholic voice is more than a passive presence. It is an active participant. The Church often weighs in on moral and ethical matters, from bioethics to family law, drawing on the authority vested in it by the Constitution. This influence stretches beyond pulpits, affecting how the nation navigates complex modern dilemmas. While Malta has embraced some progressive reforms, such as divorce and same-sex marriage, its constitutional commitment to Catholicism has not been diluted. Instead, the country walks a unique line, preserving tradition while engaging with contemporary change. This duality is reflected in public life, where modern laws coexist with a faith that continues to shape the national conscience. Today, approximately 80% of Malta's population identifies as Catholic, a statistic that reflects not only private belief, but collective culture. It is visible in gestures both grand and ordinary: a roadside crucifix, a whispered rosary on the bus, a national holiday dedicated to a saint. Here, faith is not kept behind closed doors. It is lived in the open, in full color, and with proud conviction. Number 5, Costa Rica. Amid the misty mountains and lush rainforests of Central America, Costa Rica stands out not only for its natural beauty and peaceful democracy, but for something far more spiritual. This is a nation where Catholicism is not merely practiced, it is constitutionally proclaimed. According to Article 75 of its constitution, the Roman Catholic and Apostolic religion is the official religion of the state, a distinction that permeates every level of public life. Unlike many of its Latin American neighbors where secularism has taken root in recent decades, Costa Rica remains one of the few countries in the Western Hemisphere to maintain a state religion. But this isn't a symbolic gesture, it's an active commitment. The Constitution requires the government to support the Catholic Church, both morally and materially. That support is visible everywhere. Public funds help maintain churches, support religious education, and finance Catholic charities that care for the poor, the elderly, and the vulnerable. Walk through any town during religious feast days, Corpus Christi, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, or Holy Week, and you'll find entire communities gathering in processions where candles, hymns, and flower-strewn streets turn cities into sanctuaries. In Costa Rican schools, Catholicism is not an elective. It is integrated into the curriculum, from morning prayers to moral instruction, shaping young minds with values rooted in church teachings. Even the architecture of public institutions bears the mark of faith. Crosses above chalkboards, statues of the Virgin Mary in entry halls, and chapels beside schoolyards. The Church's presence is equally felt in national ceremonies, where religious ritual and civic life blend seamlessly. At presidential inaugurations, military parades, and official memorials, priests offer blessings, and sacred liturgy accompanies the solemn duties of the state. In this way, the Church not only serves as a spiritual compass, but also as a symbolic guardian of national identity. Despite the Church's prominence, Costa Rica also upholds religious freedom. The law allows all faiths to be practiced as long as they do not conflict with public morality or civil order. It's a legal balance, one that reflects Catholicism's own intellectual traditions around conscience, morality, and pluralism. Yet the country is changing. While Catholicism still shapes much of Costa Rica's soul, the numbers are shifting. Today, around 57% of the population identifies as Catholic, a notable decline from past decades. Meanwhile, evangelical Christian churches are expanding rapidly, and secular voices are becoming increasingly vocal in public discourse. Still, the cultural scaffolding, built by centuries of Catholic tradition, remains firmly in place. Church bells still echo through village plazas, Catholic holidays are national holidays, and the Basilica of Our Lady of the Angels remains a site of pilgrimage and pride. In Costa Rica, the Church is not just an institution. It's a memory, a melody, a marker of who the people are and how they see the world. Which of these traditions or details took you by surprise? Was it the seamless blend of monarchy and religion in Monaco, the constitutional authority of the Church in Malta, or the theocratic heart of Vatican City itself? And if your own country were to declare an official faith, how do you think it would shape everyday life? Your education, your public spaces, your national rituals? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. If this journey through faith, law, and identity sparked your curiosity, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss what's coming next. We're just getting started uncovering the unseen layers of history, culture, and belief across the globe.